In a world that relies heavily on sight, it is easy to overlook those who experience life differently. Across the globe, more than 1 billion persons live with disabilities, and among them are millions of blind and visually impaired individuals who face daily challenges that extend far beyond the absence of vision. Even under normal circumstances, persons with disabilities encounter barriers in accessing education, healthcare, employment, and meaningful participation in community life. They are disproportionately affected by poverty, social exclusion, violence, neglect, and abuse, making them one of the most marginalized groups in society. These inequalities become painfully visible during times of crisis. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed how fragile accessibility truly is. While the world retreated indoors, blind and visually impaired persons faced increased isolation and loss of independence. As many relied on touch to navigate spaces, read information, and communicate their needs, lockdowns, social distancing, and the sudden removal of tactile access to public environments created not only physical barriers, but also emotional ones for them. So, for many visually impaired individuals, the greatest danger was not the virus alone, but also the lack of accessible information. Health advisories, safety guidelines, and preventive measures were often distributed in visual formats and excluded those who could not see them. When essential information is not provided in Braille or audio formats, people with visual impairments face a higher risk of contamination and harm. So, the pandemic has delivered a powerful lesson to the world. Accessibility is not an act of kindness, it is a matter of survival. At the heart of accessibility lies Braille. Braille is a tactile system of reading and writing that uses patterns of 6 raised dots to represent letters, numbers, and symbols, including musical, mathematical, and scientific notation. It was invented in the 19th century by Louis Braille, who lost his eyesight as a child due to an accident. Refusing to let blindness limit his future, he transformed 6 simple dots into a universal language that continues to empower millions of people worldwide. Braille enables blind and partially sighted individuals to read the same books, study the same subjects, and access the same information as those who read printed text. More than just a tool, Braille is the foundation of literacy, enabling education independence and self-expression. Its importance is recognized in Article 2 of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which affirms the right to accessible communication and information. Every year on January 4th, the world observes World Braille Day to honor the birth anniversary of Louis Braille, born on January 4th, 1809. Officially recognized by the United Nations in 2019, this day is not merely symbolic. It is a global affirmation that access to information is a human right, not a privilege reserved for the few. World Braille Day calls attention to the need for inclusive education systems, accessible public spaces, and equal opportunities for all. The power of Braille really extends into every aspect of life. In education, it provides the foundation for academic achievement and lifelong learning, and in employment, it enables professional independence and confidence. When it comes to public safety, Braille ensures access to medicine labels, elevator buttons, signage, and emergency instructions. Most importantly, Braille promotes social equality, helping to break down the barriers of discrimination by ensuring that information is shared, not restricted. In today's digital age, technological advancements such as screen readers and audio tools have definitely improved accessibility. However, Braille remains essential. True digital inclusion requires that technology evolves alongside tactile literacy, ensuring that blind and visually impaired persons are not left behind in an increasingly digital world. World Braille Day 2026, observed on January 4th, reinforces the continued relevance of Braille, and the urgent need to strengthen commitments to inclusive education, accessible public services, and digital accessibility. It reminds governments, institutions, and communities that progress must be measured not by innovation alone, but by inclusion. Each of us has a role to play. We can learn the basics of the Braille alphabet, support organizations that promote Braille literacy, advocate for accessible signage in our schools and public spaces, donate Braille books and learning materials, and use our voices to spread awareness. Awareness begins with understanding, but it must lead to action. Despite progress, many blind and visually impaired persons continue to face barriers to education, information, and independence. True inclusion requires effort, commitment, and empathy. World Braille Day is a reminder that when we prioritize accessibility in education, technology, and policy, we move closer to a world where dignity is preserved and opportunities are, well, shared equally. In honoring Braille, we honor not only a system of dots, but the right of every individual to read, learn, and live with dignity.